Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be talking about all of my high school stats and then also where I will be attending college in the fall. So as most of you guys know, I'm currently a senior in high school and I am planning on going to college, clearly. And I know that a lot of you guys are in the same position or just like interested in my whole college experience so far, so I thought I'd try that with you guys. Also, this is in no way me trying to brag about anything. I just want to share with you guys like my tips and my own experiences with the whole application process. And my thinking is that like showing my stats and all might give you guys a better perspective of where you stand maybe in the process and just kind of like see what it's like. So yeah, without further ado, let's get on to the video. So starting off with a little bit of background on my school, so I go to a kind of like private prep school type thing. So it's a pretty tough curriculum and a little bit different than maybe your average school. So I know that not every place has this, but at my school they offer a lot of honors classes. And I believe that's actually weighted the same as an AP course in the calculated GPA, because for the most part they're basically just as challenging as an AP course. But unlike an AP course, they're not following a set curriculum and they're not teaching for an AP test. So freshman year, I didn't take any honors courses. I only took regular classes and I received a 3.83 GPA. So pretty good unweighted, but since I didn't have any honors courses, it wasn't amazing because there wasn't any boost in that. Sophomore year, I took one honors course. It was honors Latin because I did take that as my language for 3 years, and I got an unweighted GPA of a 3.94 that year and a weighted of a 4.03. Junior year, I started to step it up a little bit and kind of up my course load and make it a little bit harder, because that was when I really started to think about like college and all that. Little tip for you guys, you should really start planning your schedule for college starting freshman or sophomore year. The sooner the better. I really do think if I took more challenging courses my sophomore and maybe even freshman year, I think it would help a lot. But anyway, my junior year I took 3 honors courses and 1 AP course, and my GPA ended up being an unweighted of 3.71 and a weighted of 4.22. So definitely a huge improvement there on the weighted scale. And then this year, clearly the year's not over yet, so I don't know my final GPAs, but I am taking 5 honors courses and no AP courses, which I know is a little bit weird for a lot of people because APs are kind of like what you do, but the honors courses really kind of offer that same rigor as an AP course, and honestly there just weren't any AP courses offered in the things I wanted to do. Like last year I took AP English, but we don't have any other AP English type courses, so after you take AP English your junior year you go into post AP, which is technically an honors course. So that's what I'm doing this year, and I'm expecting to get an unweighted GPA of a 3.83 and a weighted GPA of a 4.3. But that being said, like cumulatively I'm not even in the top 20% of my class, so take that as you will. So as for extracurriculars, this may be a little bit different than your average high school student because I've been doing YouTube for 6 years, which is a huge time commitment. So I actually have a little resume here I'm gonna kind of read off of to summarize what I do. So I've been doing YouTube for 6 years and I probably spend about 15 hours a week creating a video, and then additionally maybe another 10 just planning, taking pictures, creating content for Instagram and stuff like that. And I've also been posting weekly for 5 years straight, which definitely shows a huge commitment. But unfortunately, like YouTube really was the main part of my extracurriculars, and I didn't really have that much time to do any school-centered extracurriculars. I did do an internship of 2017 at a magazine, so I have that, and I also was an HP brand ambassador for about a year from 2018 to the beginning of this year. So basically I just created some content for them every month that they could post on their platform as well, so I kind of did separate that from my regular channel accomplishments. I also talked about the brand deals I do and basically how I'm just commissioned by brands to create content for them and advertise to my audience. So that's also like another kind of job that's connected with my YouTube channel. But I do think what sets me apart from other social media influencers attending college or applying to college is that I've also done a lot of speaking things, like speaking on panels and holding presentations and stuff like that. So I've done 2 panels at Playlist Live, one in 2016, one in 2017, and I've also been on panels at both STALK in fall of 2017. And last October I did a presentation on creating a social media brand for yourself at Social Media on the Sand, which is basically just kind of an event for bloggers and stuff. So I was a keynote speaker at that. And also my school does have a 40-hour community service requirement, so I volunteered at a camp and also at kind of like this community service art thing a little bit. So I have all those written down. I'm not sure if that helped me too much because it was just like the minimum required community service. So yeah, those are all my extracurriculars, and that was definitely a big part of my application. So I applied to most schools as a business major, and I think that all of the things I listed as extracurriculars really like spoke to that and kind of worked with my major, so they could see like that I had a very specific interest. And also pretty much all of my essays had some sort of focus on a YouTube creative social media type thing. So I really did emphasize that a lot in my application because I thought that it would kind of like separate me from other applicants and make me seem a little bit more unique, not just your average high school student. So as for standardized testing, I took the ACT twice and the SAT once. So the first time I took the SAT, this was with no type of prep whatsoever. I got a total of 1200, so it was a 630 on the reading and writing and a 570 on the math section. So pretty decent, not great at all. Like I definitely knew I had to work on that. It was more of just like a baseline test to see how I was gonna do. And then the first time I took the ACT, once again with no prior prep, I got a total of a 28 with a 32 in English, 24 in math, 28 in reading, and 29 in science. So after I got these baseline scores, I decided that I wanted to focus on the ACT. I just liked the whole process a lot better, and I thought that I could do a lot better on it. So before taking the ACT, again, I did take a prep course, which I think really helped. And for the most part, I was basically just taking sections of the ACT over and over again just to get a sense of what the questions were like and to figure out like what they were looking for. It's really helpful to take some kind of prep course for standardized testing. They actually have a lot of free courses online. I think Khan Academy offers one that's really nice. Honestly, a big part of standardized testing is just kind of figuring out what they want in their answers. There is a very specific way to take it to do well, which is a whole nother thing. Honestly, it's a really corrupt process, I think. But yeah, studying for it is really great, and I would definitely recommend you try to do that as much as you can. So my second time taking the ACT a couple months later, I got a total of a 31. So the English was a 34, math a 25. Clearly, I'm not that good at math. The reading, I got a 34, and the science, I got a 30. So I decided that this was a score I wanted to keep, so that was the score I ended up submitting to all my schools. So as for where I applied, I am from Baltimore, Maryland, so very East Coast, but I actually only applied to Southern California schools, specifically mostly in the LA area, which I know is super weird, but I do want to continue pursuing YouTube as well as an education, and I just really thought that going to school in LA would be the best way for me to continue both, and also just because I want to continue social media, all the opportunities for that are in LA, so I'll be right there, and I think that'll be the best place for me to kind of bounce both while in college. So I actually only applied to a total of 6 schools with 1 definite safety. I think most people apply to more schools than that and definitely more safeties, but honestly there just weren't any more schools that I could really see myself at, especially because I was looking at such a small area. So I applied to USC, UCLA, UC Santa Barbara, Whittier, Chapman, and Loyola Marymount University. So I think the only one on that list that's actually outside of LA was Chapman. I really liked that school, but it's more in the Orange County area, so not really the location I was looking for, but I did still apply because it was a really good school, and my safety on that list was Whittier. Honestly, I just applied there because my counselor recommended it, and there were no supplement essays on the application, so it was really just like I checked it on the common application and sent my stuff there. So my major did vary across schools because not all of them offered the one I wanted, but I think for the most part I did apply for a business major in every school, which off the bat is kind of a hard major to get into, but I do really want to learn more about creating a business because I want to kind of expand my own business with YouTube and all that, and I think that majoring in business would really benefit my YouTube career and all that, so that's kind of the tie-in there. So yeah, I actually started my application back in like July, I think, so really early. I would definitely recommend you guys do that too, because I was pretty much done all my applications by the beginning of the school year. So unlike everyone who was stressing over it and balancing applications and homework, I was for the most part pretty stress-free about college in the beginning of the year, which was really great. So I ended up submitting everything in October because I wanted some time to like look over it all, make sure it was good. So even though some of the schools I did apply regular decision, I submitted everything in October just to get it in early. So the decisions and where I'm going to college. So to start off, I was rejected from USC. That was actually my top school, so that was definitely pretty disappointing, and I think I might make a video about that because I want to kind of speak to it more. But yeah, rejected from there. I also was rejected from UCLA. Honestly though, wasn't a huge fan of the school, didn't really fit my vibe, so that was okay, I guess. UC Santa Barbara, I was waitlisted. That was also another school that I wasn't too interested in, so I declined the waitlist offer. And as for my acceptances, I was accepted to Loyola Marymount University on early action. I was also accepted to Chapman early action and Whittier early action. Honestly though, once I didn't get into USC, it was pretty easy for me to decide where I wanted to go to school, and that is Loyola Marymount University. So I will be attending there in the fall. It's in LA, super amazing location. It's so gorgeous, you guys. It's also right in the Silicon Beach area, which is basically just where a lot of big companies have their headquarters, essentially. It's the Silicon Valley of Southern California, basically. So like the YouTube headquarters are right there, Instagram, my network is right there. I think Snapchat is also right there. So there's a lot of great internship opportunities that I'm really excited about. And also they had a business entrepreneurship major, which I'm not sure that any other schools had. I know USC didn't have an entrepreneurship major. So this was definitely a huge plus for LMU because I didn't want to like focus on like accounting or like management or anything like that. Like I really wanted to focus on entrepreneurship because that is definitely what I'm interested in. So LMU has a great program for that, which I'm really excited about. And yeah, I will be a LMU Lion in the fall. So yeah, that is my whole college application process. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any more questions about the whole thing, let me know in the comments down below and I will try to answer some of them. Also, I have an Instagram and a Twitter, so go ahead and follow me in both of those. And yeah, I will see you guys next week. Bye!